So today I'm going to be talking about if I've ever faced an ethical dilemma, and if not, can I imagine one, and what information from the chapter would be similar to how I would resolve this issue and whatnot. So just kind of bringing in the first statement, ethics is when you have good morals, good sense, goodwill, things like that, and you're just overall morally credible. And I don't know, when you speak and somebody looks at you, they can easily say, well, she's ethically correct or morally correct. So two things that are pretty important regarding public speaking that I put in my notes are actually to remain honest while avoiding plagiarism, and also meeting responsible speech goals. Now, ethical standards means that you have to know who you're talking to, what kind of audience you're presenting to, and things like that. But that's not all you have to do. Just like in our practice speeches, we started off by stating in our outlines that we had to have three transitional sentences like that say according to this website, or being able to be credible is what's going to make you stand out compared to another person that just says that they learned their information or they retained it in their brain. So when you're able to say according to Dr. Martin Luther King or something like along those lines, people are able to look back. If they want to go back and research it, they can on their own. They can also, when they hear that somebody of higher standards, higher up than you, when they hear that you've got that, it makes you sound a little bit more ethically correct, and they know that it's coming from a good source. When you don't identify your sources, people don't know where it's coming from. They don't know if you pulled it off Wikipedia. They don't know where you got your information from. So it's very important to let them know. The last thing that I wanted to touch on was the setting responsible speech goals, which I had in my notes. I just had to flip to it. And they've actually listed three main points. One is promoting diversity, considering not just you, but your whole entire audience and who you're talking to and how you're going to present your speech according to them. Using inclusive language, which is very important. You really need to avoid any sexist language. It's also talked about in chapter 10, using sexist language. So not mansplaining like we talked about in class, but kind of just using we language. So this not just talking about the speaker, but talking about the speaker and the audience in general. And 3, avoid hate speeches. So that means like including a particular person or group and you're just putting them down, just not saying very good things about them. You want to avoid them 3 because that can also ruin your credibility and how ethical you are when you're speaking.